Hey y'all, welcome back to Poplar Creek Farm. Tonight I'm going to bring you guys along for dinner making. I'm going to show you guys kind of what I like to do for dinners and also how I'm prepping with my dinners for the Whole30. Not everything I eat is what my family eats, so there are occasions where I do 2 meals or similar meals in just different fashions, and one of those dinners is tonight. I'm going to be making spaghetti, but for me, because I can't pasta, I'm going to be using a spaghetti squash. Now, this is from the grocery store. I didn't grow it. I am hoping to grow these next year because I do really like spaghetti squash, and they store for so long. I actually bought one at the store and thought for sure it had gone bad because I had it for like a month, and it was just on my counter. It wasn't like I stored it properly or anything. And I went out and I finally just put it on the compost because I'm like, it has to be bad. I can't be eating this like a month after I got it. Well, then I try to, with squashes especially because they take so long to break down, I try to break them when I put them in the compost. And I broke it open and actually smelled it, and it smelled totally fine. It looked totally fine. So I probably could have eaten it, but I had already smashed it in my compost. So I'm doing this for my dinner, for my spaghetti. But I'm also going to do a I'm going to do roasted veggies. I'm going to roast them in the oven. I'm going to put them all in a pan, and I'm going to show you guys how I do that. That is something I really enjoy anyways. I do that on a regular basis because it's something I can do in the beginning of the week. I do a whole tray of it and then have it for the whole week if I don't eat it all the first night, because sometimes roasted veggies are like impossible to put down. It's like a potato chip. You can't just have one. So I really like roasted veggies, and sometimes I eat a few more than I should. But tonight I'm going to do, my roasted veggies are going to be potatoes, regular potatoes. I have sweet potatoes, but I really like my sweet potatoes for my breakfasts. I do like the regular potatoes for breakfast as well, kind of cooked up like home fries, which I had this morning. But I really like I like my sweet potatoes more than the regular potatoes. I'm also doing Brussels sprouts from the grocery store. Most of my stuff is from the grocery store right now because our garden didn't do super well, and I wasn't great about preserving this year. With COVID and everything going on, I was, like I said in other videos, I was working extra, just been busy. My husband's been working extra, so it's been too much going on to really do a whole lot of preserving. Hopefully next year I will be better about it. I'm also going to do some asparagus, and I think I'm going to throw a little bit of pineapple on the dish. So I love cooked pineapple. I mean, I love pineapple in general, but I love cooked pineapple. I don't know why I love it so much, but I do. I'm probably going to throw some pineapple on. I'll probably keep some fresh for eating throughout the week, but I'm also going to throw some pineapple onto the roasting pan so that I can eat it throughout the week. So join me as I cook dinner, guys. Alright, so I've got my cutting board, I've got my potatoes, and I've got my veggies over here. Over here I've got a pan. I typically put tin foil down just because it makes for an easier cleanup. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do with these veggies and how I'm going to prepare them. For the most part, I'm just chopping them up. It's pretty basic. I don't put a whole lot on these either. A little olive oil I put on, and some garlic powder. I may cut up an onion as well and throw it on just for some extra flavor. Little salt, and that's really it. I don't put a lot on because the more you flavor them, the less versatile they are with meals. If you over flavor them, then you can only you're kind of stuck with that flavor. Whereas if I don't flavor them a whole lot, when I pull them out and rewarm them, I can go ahead and flavor them as I choose them. Now for potatoes, I do not peel the skins, personal preference. I just choose not to. Potato skins are extremely edible and actually really good for you, so I prefer not to. And I've learned how much a good knife makes a big difference. These are Rada, R-A-D-A. They're made in the USA. A local Amish store sells them, and they're amazing. So then I just spread them out on the cooking sheet, and I'll show you guys that when I get closer to being done. So these I'm just cutting up into small pieces, try to keep them somewhat even, but it's not a huge deal. And honestly, with roasted veggies, it's not a big deal where you put them on your tray. Some people like to do them in sections. Some people like to do them where they are all on top of each other. It doesn't really matter. Do it how you please. And you can season these however you choose. If you want them spicy, or if you want them kind of mild, or if you just want, you can leave them just with a little olive oil and that's it. And then season them as you go if you want. I don't really know why I'm cutting off the ends. I don't have to. right, now onto the Brussels sprouts, which I'm going to rinse off quick, and then we'll cut them up. So these are organic Brussels sprouts. I'm not super worried about like scrubbing them or, you know, pulling off leaves. There's obviously always a little bit of stuff on them, but I'm not super worried about it. I eat stuff right out of the garden all the time. So all I do with these is cut them in half. And that's it. And then I put them on the roasting pan. These are one of my favorite vegetables to have roasted. I always liked Brussels sprouts, but I always felt like I needed them to be either really small or, you know, just buttered up and like really heavily flavored for me to like them. And then I had them roasted once and I was like, game changer. I'm never eating Brussels sprouts another way. I will still eat them steamed or boiled or whatever, but I really, really like them this way. This is my absolute favorite. So if you're not sure about Brussels sprouts, or you don't really like them, or you butter them up like crazy and make them unhealthy, like I used to, then try them roasted just once, and I think you'll really like them. All right, before I cut up the other veggies for the roasting pan, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this up. With the spaghetti squash, I just cut them in half, remove the seeds, and roast them. But I need to get it in because it takes a good while. So I normally put it in for an hour. And this is one thing I'm terrible at cutting. And I swear it doesn't matter if you have a sharp knife. There's got to be a trick to this, but I don't know it. So if you guys have tricks for cutting spaghetti squash, give them my way, because I need all the help I can get with cutting this thing. Normally I would have my husband help me, but he is not home. You guys can totally laugh at me for that. It's so weird. Spaghetti squash, to me, initially really smells like pumpkin. So you're going to scrape out all these seeds because the flesh that you eat is actually the outside. So you kind of just scoop out that middle area on both of them. So we'll go ahead and do that and get them cooking. With these, I'm not adding anything. I'm not putting olive oil, nothing. I'm just going to put them on a pan and cook them this side up for about an hour on 350. These are what they look like going into the oven. And like I said, 350 for an hour. Right, so next is asparagus. And these are some gigantic stalks, which I'm not a huge fan of. I like the smaller, stringier ones, but this is what they had at the store. So this is what I'm going to use. So with asparagus, pop off the bottom, and then I just use those whole. I don't break them up anymore, especially when they're this big. The pieces would be ginormous. Okay, put it back, please. It's Brussels sprouts. Whoop! Fling on my way. Alright, so this tray is already pretty full, so I'm going to throw the pineapple on a different dish, also because I don't really think I want garlic powder on my pineapple. So this is just going to be the roasted veggies. So what I'm going to do now is olive oil and a little garlic and onion, and that's it. Nice and easy. Now with the olive oil, you can spread it around with your fingers, or you can just kind of drizzle it. This olive oil, it like comes out really fast, so I want to try to drizzle it, but it doesn't always work. It's not a huge deal.
That looks good. Look at that. You can eat that.
Yeah. I didn't cut up an onion, but I'm trying to rush now because it's getting late. So there's that. I'm just going to leave it all together. It'll cook together anyways, and this will go in for about an hour as well as the spaghetti squash.
Oh, it's big.
Alright, now we're gonna cut up the pineapple and we're gonna put that on a separate tray.
For me and Kaden?
Well, some of it's gonna stay fresh, but some of it I'm gonna cook.
Yeah. But I don't like the one with cooks.
Okay. I'm just gonna put them in some cake tins. All right, back up, honey.
Oh my god, that's a sharp knife.
Yeah. And cut the sides off and chop it up.
See that?
Alright, so here is the cut up pineapple. I'm going to throw this in the oven for probably about 30 minutes. Not as long as the other roasted veggies and everything, just because this cooks up a lot faster. I really like it like on shish kebabs and stuff. I like it grilled, so I'm trying it this way. I've never really had it just like roasted in the oven, but I assume it'll be similar flavor, and I love pineapple regardless, so I'm sure I'm gonna like it. Next, I'm getting water boiling, and I'm also gonna get a pot with the sauce going, which is my homemade sauce that I canned this year. It doesn't have anything I can't eat on the Whole30, so definitely using that because I can't stand jar sauce. I'm only going to do a little bit of spaghetti for them because it's only for the kids. My husband and I used to have this argument of which spaghetti to buy, what not like brand, just like the size spaghetti. I grew up on angel hair. That's all we ever had, and my husband grew up on like the thick real spaghetti, and I just couldn't stand the thick spaghetti. It just wasn't what I was used to. And he couldn't stand angel hair, so we finally agreed on thin spaghetti. So that's our compromise. Take a quick peek at everything roasting. It's looking good. Here is the delicious cooked pineapple, steaming away. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and I did one of the spaghetti squash. There's a little tiny bit left, but I can get it out after. I'm going to do the other one. Basically just you take it, it's hot still, so take it in with a, whatever that's called, pot holder, and you just scrape. Some areas are going to be really soft and like scrape up super easy, and some areas are a little bit harder. You try to get as much of the flesh scraped up as you can, and it just makes it look kind of stringy like spaghetti. And that's why a lot of people use this in replacement of pasta in dishes where they're trying to be, you know, conscious of carbs and whatnot. This is a really, really good replacement.
Mommy?
Yeah. See? Isn't that cool?
Do you know that always don't get all of it? Like that, it can be glowing, and then it can be like a bit gone.
Sure.
There's some on this side.
Every once in a while there's a seed that made it through. Overall, I will use this just like spaghetti, and it's super, super tasty, super easy. And let's go ahead and get the roasted veggies out now. Here are the one pan roasted veggies. How amazing do those look? I wish you guys could smell it. It smells so good. So I'm going to serve everything up and go ahead and eat my dinner. So it's finally dinner time for me. The kids already ate, but there is my dinner. How good does this look? Spaghetti squash with my homemade sauce on it, roasted veggies, and roasted pineapple. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for joining me. Remember, we're growing today for a better tomorrow. Please like and subscribe and join me on the next one.